Hi, I'm Ree from mummyof4.com. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am sharing some of our family Christmas traditions for our family based here in the UK. As we go through the video, I would love to hear where you're from. Let me know in the comments and which kind of family traditions you have around Christmas, especially if any of the family traditions that I share in this video you actually do in your family, where you live. It would be so interesting to hear what is similar and what is different around the world when it comes to family Christmas traditions. And also if there are any of the traditions that I share in this video that you think you might take up this year, I would love to know. Before we get into all the Christmas traditions, I want to say if you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 7 p.m. We've got a lot of Christmas content at the moment. We're feeling the Christmassy vibe. We need to bring the joy. 2020's been tough. We have got lots of vlogs, speed cleans. We've got our home renovation series going, so you can follow along. Hopefully our extension will be done in time for Christmas, so make sure you subscribed to find out if we actually manage that. So our first family Christmas tradition is I make sure that we are really helpful to Father Christmas, and I get our children to submit their requests for Father Christmas or Santa. Let me know, by the way, do you call him Father Christmas or Santa? I tend to mostly call him Father Christmas, but we do use Santa kind of interchangeably as well. Anyway, Santa, Father Christmas, we get the lists in pretty darn early. We're talking like beginning of November, because you know, there are a lot of children in the world for him to get round, and in order for him to be organised in plenty of time, he needs to have the requests in nice and early. Now, unfortunately, once the requests are submitted, you can't actually change your mind. So I do make sure that my children know that, because poor Father Christmas will have already bought and wrapped the presents, because, you know, he's an organised kind of guy. So if there are any requests after that, sometimes my children know that maybe like an auntie or mummy and daddy might be able to buy those presents, but not necessarily, because, you know, once the deadline's passed, there's not a great deal we can do. But there are always upcoming birthdays and things, so maybe things that they fancy, that they suddenly think of, would be options for those. Stay tuned. I will touch on how I gift plan for my 4 children, especially with the ones with the birthdays really close to Christmas. But I do actually have a full video all about how I gift plan for the year, so make sure you check that out after you've watched this video. Now, when my children are submitting the requests to Father Christmas, they know that they can't ask for loads and loads of things, because, you know, the poor guy has got a lot of children to buy for. So they tend to ask for 1 or 2 things that they would quite like to have for Christmas if they have been really good. And these are not like big, massive main presents, because if Father Christmas was to buy like a big main present, like a bike or something, then he would probably still have to bring all the stocking fillers and things like that. And what goes in the stocking fillers and things, I will get to in a second. Whether there's a really expensive main present or not, he's still going to have to bring all those bits and pieces. So big, the more expensive presents are saved for birthdays, and then the things that my children ask for are more like a toy or something, but not a really, really expensive like main thing, if that makes sense. I use my gift planner for planning our Christmas gifts, and I'm going to touch on this really, really briefly, because that video, and there is a blog post I will link below, really goes into this in detail. The first thing I do is I brainstorm all of the things that the children want. So I put on here the things that they have asked Father Christmas for, because I might add some little things in that the children need to make sure that Father Christmas brings those little things. I might add some of my own little requests. So it's everything that they're going to want for the next 12 months. This is especially important if you've got like a baby, because babies aren't terribly aware of what they have for Christmas. So it's worth asking Father Christmas or friends or relatives or whatever to buy things that the baby is going to need over the next 12-month period, and certainly before their actual birthday. So you might have a really small baby now, maybe they need, you know, like push along toys or things that they're not really ready for at all yet, but they could perhaps be brought by Father Christmas now rather than having to buy them through the year. Other things that go on here, just things they need, you know, stationery, tights, underwear, pajamas, all the things they need, because let's face it, Father Christmas could bring those sorts of things as stocking fillers, and he tends to do that. I then split things up into things that they want. So these are the things that they would ask for, would go in this box. Things that they need, something to wear, Father Christmas generally brings them something to wear, some clothes for kind of the winter season, something to read, which obviously is generally a book, something to make and something to do. It could be either one of those. You don't have to fill every single one of these boxes, but anything that's into this brainstorming, I kind of copy into this. And I try and make sure that I've asked Father Christmas to bring something generally from each section, so each of my children has a similar amount of gifts. They tend to have something to share, so that's like, could be board games, things like that, and feed is just, you know, selection boxes and things like that. So I send these off as kind of just like a little list for Father Christmas to consider, and he and I have a little chat and we decide what is going to be appropriate for him to bring and what perhaps we will buy to go under the tree, what friends or relatives might buy, and between us we figure out how to get the children the things they want and need between us as a group. I do the same for this for birthdays. Now my children's birthdays are ridiculously close to Christmas. 3 of them are anyway. Bella's birthday is just a couple of days after Christmas. William's birthday is the end of January and Zara is the beginning of February. So those birthdays have to be considered alongside Christmas. And I really would suggest you do this when you are gift planning both yourself and when you're in communication with Father Christmas, because you don't want to use up all your ideas for Christmas and then be like, oh, it's their birthday now. What shall we get? So budget and gift ideas need to be split between Christmas and birthday. And even my eldest, whose birthday is in July, I would consider, well, what does he want or need? And certainly if he wants more of a main present, like he had a guitar for his last birthday, that would have been quite a big present to have for Christmas. So that was saved for his birthday. So once we've gone through the wants and the needs, I put on the still to buy for, and then if relatives need ideas of what to buy my children, they can have a look on this list. There will be items of various prices on them, down from sort of very small basic items to slightly more pricey things. And then if they would like to buy something for my children and they want the ideas, they can refer to that list. So stocking fillers. Traditionally in our house, Father Christmas likes to bring lots of little stocking fillers. Examples of these things would be pretty much anything with a character on it that's kind of fun, but that they need. Last year, for example, Father Christmas brought the girls stationery with Frozen on it, and they loved that. I think Will had stationery with some sort of character on it. They have toothbrushes, they can have bedding, and something Father Christmas does that's quite clever actually. As children get older, their presents tend to get a little bit smaller and a little bit more expensive. So their Christmas sack might look a lot smaller or less stuffed and full than their younger siblings that have much bigger looking toys that don't cost as much. So often Father Christmas will bulk up the way he packs the older children's things so that when we come downstairs on Christmas morning, everyone just has a big looking pile of very wrapped stuff. So when it's unwrapped, it doesn't really matter how much it looks like. They're already thrilled with what they've got, but their eyes are kind of filled at the initial coming downstairs on Christmas morning. So sometimes what he's done before now, he's such a clever guy, is that he has bought bedding, for example, new bedding for the children's beds, because it's something that, you know, they need from time to time. So why not ask Father Christmas to bring it? And he's actually wrapped it on a duvet. So it's fun to snuggle in on Christmas Day, and it makes a huge present. Another thing he has done before now is stuff a cushion down the bottom of the sack so that the presents at the top look bigger, because let's face it, older children's presents are smaller and more expensive. Anyway, so I'm sure he does things like that in your house too. I just thought I'd share my observations of what he does when he comes to us. Another Christmas tradition that we have in our house is generally the children will have new pajamas on Christmas morning. The Elf on the Shelf has occasionally brought pajamas on, say, Christmas Eve. I will get to the Elf on the Shelf and all the traditions that come with that too. But if the children are going to have Christmas pajamas, as in not pajamas that are bought for Christmas, but pajamas with Christmas things on them, they have those early in the season. So normally I would start Christmas, I'm very much a 1st of December and no earlier kind of girl. Now, if you have been following me on Instagram or watching my YouTube videos up until now, you will know that 2020 has changed this habit for me. And 2020 has kind of kicked a lot of us in the bottom a little bit, hasn't it? To say the least. So we have brought the joy far earlier this year, and this year we took down the Halloween decorations on the 1st of November and we started Christmas and why not? Let me know if you did the same, because I'm just like, let's find the joy where we can. So this year, the children had Christmas pajamas at the beginning of November. They've actually got 2 pairs each, and they're just wearing them on rotation throughout November and December. My children never have pajamas with Christmas things on them on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, because they're not going to want to wear Christmas pajamas after Christmas. So if the children have pajamas as gifts for Christmas at Christmas, they never have Christmas on them. I've just said Christmas so many times it's lost all meaning. Back to the elf on the shelf. So yes, we do have an elf. She comes to visit us on the 1st of December. In our house, she tends to bring advent calendars for the children, which they really enjoy. She doesn't do anything super artistic or Pinterest worthy because she doesn't have time for that. She moves around after the children have gone to bed. She brings a behavior chart at the beginning of December, and she monitors the children's behavior using those charts, and she brings little notes for the children and sometimes little gifts or things. Sometimes she lays out their Christmas jumpers when it's going to be a Christmas jumper day, or wishes them good luck in a school concert. I have heard a rumour that this year, when I was talking to Father Christmas, he told me about this, she's going to bring them these activity things to do. So rather than just making a mess in the house, because I know some people's elves do that and some people's elves love doing that, but our elf she's not very artistic. She's not very creative like that. But Father Christmas does inform me that she is going to bring the children things to colour and things to do, things to keep them entertained in December. So make sure you are subscribed to my channel so that you can see what she brings. Another tradition in our household is we tend to eke out Christmas as much as possible. I found that our children get really overwhelmed on Christmas Day, and if it's like all exciting all through December with no gifts and then like all the gifts on Christmas Day, it's a little bit too much. So what we tend to do is when we see friends and family during December, we exchange gifts with them then and we open them then. There's no saving things for Christmas Day because it all just gets lost in the blur. If they're given a gift from a family member before Christmas and then they open it in front of them, they have time to appreciate that gift and be grateful for that gift and show their gratitude in the moment, rather than just being crazy excited all of December and then overwhelmed on Christmas Day. Another way we kind of eke out Christmas a little bit is the children get to open one present from under the Christmas tree on Christmas Eve. Now, I normally choose which one this is going to be, and it's normally something that the children can kind of do or get involved in. Something that will keep them busy on probably the most exciting, wound up day of the year, which is Christmas Eve, where everyone just can't wait for Christmas Day. By opening one present, it kind of takes the edge off a little bit and it gives them something new and exciting to focus on. Now, for presents under the tree, in previous years, I have done a present from each child to each child, and the logistics of this when you have 4 children can kind of fry your brain. So rather than going from Dylan to William and Dylan to Bella and Dylan to Zara, then William to Dylan, blah, 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 I scrapped all that and we just have a gift under the tree from Mummy and Daddy and then another gift under the tree from their siblings, because that makes it so much easier. And then I kind of ask Father Christmas to bring the rest of the stocking fillers and the bits and pieces because it simplifies things. And the presents under the tree from the siblings and from us are things that we know they're really going to want and love, because let's face it, why should we give all the best ideas to Father Christmas so he gets all the credit? A lovely tradition that we've had since the children were really small is the putting out the sack ceremony. And this is quite simply where I've always filmed the children, even before I started doing YouTube, laying out their sacks in hope that Father Christmas will come and fill them with goodies, and also leaving out a snack for Father Christmas and the reindeer. Now, I always ask the children what they would like to leave for Father Christmas, and I leave that up to them because I think that that is really nice for them to get involved that way. Last year, they decided that he wanted fairy cakes, so we made fairy cakes and they decorated them beautifully for Father Christmas. Over the years, he has had various things, cakes, biscuits, very rarely mince pies. He's also had various drinks. They've left him milk, orange juice, wine, beer, squash. Every year they think he wants something different. So whatever the children feel that they want to leave out for the big man, we're okay with that. In our house, Father Christmas leaves the presents where we leave the sacks, and we leave the sacks downstairs. We didn't have a chimney in our last house, and we don't have a chimney in this house, but it's okay because Father Christmas has a magic key. And in fact, if anyone is worried about it, there was a letter that came out from the Prime Minister confirming that Father Christmas is a key worker and he will be allowed to work on Christmas Eve, providing he sanitises his hands between houses, which I'm perfectly sure he will do. So on Christmas morning, we all come downstairs together. No one goes on their own ahead of anybody else, and that way everyone can see if he's been at the same time. The children tend to absolutely rip through their presents. The youngest child, who's currently Zara, but they've all had their turn at being the youngest, seems to take the longest to open their gifts. Let me know if it's the same in your household, but the little one always seems to take a lot longer. They seem to open things and play with each thing, whereas the bigger ones just tend to rip through everything a lot quicker. The children do buy something for mummy from the children and for daddy from the children. Now my husband and I, we set a very low budget. We buy token things for each other just so that the children have got something to give us, but we do not spend a lot of money on each other for Christmas at all, because as far as I'm concerned, Christmas is about the children. We have deals going with a lot of our friends where we kind of keep spending to a limit. Either we agreed not to exchange gifts, certainly with the adults, and then with the children we tend to do like a Secret Santa kind of arrangement, because Christmas can be expensive for everybody, and sometimes by buying a gift for someone, then they feel obliged to buy one back for you, and people end up overspending massively. So if there's any of your friends that you can kind of say, do you know what guys, let's just focus on the children and we won't buy for each other, it really does take the pressure off. Back to Christmas morning. The children open all their presents, everyone's generally still in their pajamas, they have breakfast, we have a little play, and then everyone gets dressed, generally in more Christmas jumpers, Christmas outfits and things. The children tend to have at least one dressing up outfit at some point during Christmas. One of their gifts from someone, from Father Christmas or from a relative, will tend to be some sort of fancy dress. So although their outfit will tend to be something Christmassy, like a Christmas jumper, because let's face it, they're not going to wear them after Christmas, they do tend to change a few times during the day into various dressing up outfits. My children are obsessed with dressing up. It's literally their favourite game. A Christmas tradition I started recently was a lower maintenance Christmas lunch. Now I have done the getting up in the middle of the night to make sure the turkey's in and it's all right, and doing things from scratch and having to just get Christmas right and be the hostess with the mostess. But to be honest, I'm over it. So now, Christmas is about spending time on the floor playing with my children, so anything I can do to make it easier, anything I can buy pre-prepared or super easy, I will do. Now, by all means, if you love cooking and you personally enjoy all the stuff that goes with making Christmas dinner, if that's what makes Christmas special for you, then do it. But if you're just doing it because you feel the pressure to be perfect, then I hereby give you permission not to bother and to make your life as simple as possible. Your children will have a lovely day and will remember Christmas having played with their parents rather than the quality of the food. I'm sure whatever you make will be lovely, whether you spend hours and hours on it or you buy the cheap versions. Now on Christmas Day, we always stay in. We don't really take the children away from their toys. We have lunch at home and it's just a day of playing and drinking bubbly and having sweets and eating quality street until I'm sick, because obviously calories don't count at Christmas. That's another Christmas tradition. We generally have a lot of visitors on Christmas Day. Obviously this year, COVID, that's not going to be happening. But on a normal Christmas, a Christmas tradition, I guess, would be that people would call in and visit us at various points during the day. Let me know in the comments if you have any Christmas traditions that are similar to ours, or if you've got any really special Christmas traditions that are unique to your family or where you're from. I would love to hear about them. Thank you so much for watching. If you have liked this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 7 p.m. My latest video is just across here, and another video that you may enjoy from my channel is just down here. See you guys soon. Bye.